All right, buckle up, everybody. We're diving deep into the early days of OpenAI.
Ooh, this is going to be good.
We've got leaked emails,
Did you see?
emails between Elon Musk, Sam Altman, the whole gang, back when OpenAI was just getting started.
So we're talking like origin stories.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Think boardroom drama, billion-dollar decisions.
And a peek behind the curtain to see how some of the biggest names in tech were thinking about AI.
Back when it was all just getting started.
It's like a time capsule.
Right, like a raw, unfiltered look at how these ideas were born.
Their hopes, their fears.
All of it. It all kicks off in May 2015 with an email from Sam Altman to Elon Musk.
Okay, setting the stage.
Altman's pitching this Manhattan Project for AI.
Whoa.
Basically saying AI is going to happen whether we like it or not.
Right.
But maybe Google shouldn't be the one controlling it all.
Interesting. So what's Altman's solution?
He thinks the safest approach is to empower individuals
Okay.
and distribute AI as widely as possible.
So not just concentrate in the hands of a few.
Exactly. He even suggests a governance structure with some heavy hitters like Bill Gates
Of course.
and Elon Musk.
That makes sense. So this idea of distributed AI, that's key to OpenAI's original mission.
Totally. They were really worried about AI getting concentrated in the hands of a few powerful entities.
And they wanted to create a counterbalance,
A force for good.
right? Ensuring that AI benefits all of humanity.
So was Elon on board with this grand vision right away?
Well, his first response was probably worth a conversation.
Which, knowing Elon,
It's basically a yes.
pretty much, and just a month later, they're hashing out the details.
A mission structure, the whole 9 yards.
And it's clear from these early emails that this nonprofit for the good of humanity thing,
Yeah.
it was there from day one.
They were serious about it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Committed to building an organization outside the usual corporate framework.
No pressure from shareholders or profits.
Free to focus on the big picture.
Noble goals, for sure.
Mm,
But I'm guessing it wasn't all smooth sailing from there.
you guessed it. Building a world-class AI lab takes serious cash.
Oh yeah, resources are everything.
And that's where things start to get interesting. By December 2015, we see this rivalry with DeepMind heating up.
DeepMind, backed by Google.
Yep, and they were not messing around, throwing around massive counteroffers to poach OpenAI's recruits,
The classic talent war.
but with much higher stakes.
Absolutely. The future of AI was on the line.
I bet that put a strain on OpenAI trying to compete with Google's deep pockets as a nonprofit.
It was a David and Goliath situation.
Did they even try to match those crazy salaries?
There's this one exchange where Sam Altman is practically freaking out.
What happened?
DeepMind was cornering people at conferences, offering them insane amounts of money.
Wow.
Altman even asks Elon if they can bump everyone's pay by like $100,000 to $200,000 a year.
Oof, that's a big ask.
It is. What did Elon say?
He was all in. Either we get the best people in the world or we get whipped by DeepMind.
He was laser focused on talent.
Totally. He even sent out this email to the whole team,
What did it say?
basically emphasizing how crucial it was to have the right people on board.
So even against this fierce competition, they were holding on to their mission.
Yep, building that world-class team. But I can only imagine the salary discrepancies must have caused some tension.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Let's jump ahead to February 2016.
Okay.
The emails from this period really show how OpenAI's nonprofit status was putting them at a disadvantage.
In what way?
Well, we see Greg Brockman, one of the co-founders, emailing Elon about salary negotiations.
Okay, let's hear the numbers. What are we talking about?
So they're offering new recruits a base salary of $175,000
Okay.
plus a possible bonus. But then Greg lays it all out.
Go on.
People like Wojciech Zaremba were getting verbally offered $1.25 million a year at Facebook AI Research,
Wow.
or Andrew Tullock making $800,000 at Facebook.
Huge difference.
The pay gap was enormous.
I can see why Greg was reaching out to Elon for help. It must have been tough to attract talent with that kind of difference.
It was. He was especially worried about losing people like Andrew Ng, who was almost accepting an offer but concerned about the pay cut, and Ian Goodfellow, a rising star in AI. Remember, this is when AI talent was super scarce.
So did Elon Cage. Did he agree to match those mega salaries?
His response is classic Elon, we need to do what it takes to get the top talent. Let's go higher.
He was serious.
Oh yeah. He even adds, DeepMind is causing me extreme mental stress. If they win, it will be really bad news with their one mind to rule the world philosophy.
So he saw OpenAI as this crucial counterweight.
Exactly. And he was willing to push their financial limits to stay competitive.
Even if it meant bending the rules of their nonprofit model.
That's dedication.
So they're battling DeepMind, stretching their budget to attract talent, and then Microsoft enters the picture.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yep. In September 2016, things take a turn.
A turn how?
Sam Altman emails Elon with Microsoft's proposed partnership terms.
Lay it on me.
The initial offer was for $60 million in computing resources
Not bad.
in exchange for $10 million. And here's the catch input from OpenAI on what Microsoft deploys in the cloud.
Ooh, that sounds like it could be a conflict of interest with their whole open and distributed AI thing.
Right. What did Elon think?
His reply is priceless. This actually made me feel nauseous. It sucks and is exactly what I would expect from them.
Uh-huh. No holding back.
He was particularly upset about a clause that said OpenAI had to evangelize Microsoft Azure.
Basically become Microsoft's marketing arm.
Pretty much. He saw it as a threat to their independence.
And a betrayal of their principles.
Exactly.
So did they end up becoming Microsoft's marketing bitch, as Elon put it?
Not quite. Elon pushed back hard, refused to sign anything or agree to any evangelization.
Good for him.
He wanted to make it clear that OpenAI was independent.
It was a risky move considering they needed the resources.
It was, but it shows how committed Elon was to their vision.
So how did they resolve this standoff?
They eventually settled on a much cleaner deal.
Tell me more.
$50 million in compute resources with no strings attached.
That's a win.
A huge win. It gave them the resources they needed without compromising their independence.
Okay, so they got the funding, kept their integrity, things are looking up. But I have a feeling there's more to come.
Oh, you know there is. The year 2017 brings internal struggles, mounting tension, and ultimately, Elon's departure from the organization he helped create.
We'll have to save that for part 2 of our deep dive.
Stay tuned.
All right, we're back. Picking up where we left off, OpenAI just scored a major partnership with Microsoft.
Seems like they solved their money problems, right?
You'd think so. But things are about to get a whole lot more complicated.
Oh boy, what happens now?
Well, things start to shift inside OpenAI.
Internal drama.
You could say that. Let's fast forward to July 2017.
Okay.
Ilya Sutskever, OpenAI's chief scientist, sends this email to Elon and Greg.
Okay.
He's super excited about their recent achievements.
Like what?
A robotic hand solving a Rubik's Cube. A
Wow.
bot that's about to become unbeatable in a one-on-one game. Big milestones.
So they were making progress. That's good, right?
Yeah, but these achievements seem to have kicked things into overdrive for Elon.
In what way?
He was getting fixated on OpenAI's progress towards AGI.
Artificial general intelligence.
Right. And remember, this is around the same time Elon's publicly warning about the dangers of AI.
So it makes sense that he'd be pushing OpenAI to speed things up.
Exactly. And that's where the tension starts to build.
How so?
In August 2017, there's this long email chain where Ilya and Greg express some serious concerns
About what?
about Elon's level of control over OpenAI,
Right.
especially as they get closer to achieving AGI.
Wait, they were worried about Elon having too much power? The guy who co-founded OpenAI.
It does seem kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But remember, OpenAI's whole mission was to make sure AI wouldn't be controlled by any single entity.
Right.
And in these emails, Ilya and Greg are straight up saying they're worried that Elon might become a sort of dictator over a future AGI.
Whoa. Even with his good intentions.
That's what they were afraid of. They pointed to his insistence on being CEO of the new for-profit arm of OpenAI.
Even though he always said he hated being CEO.
Exactly. They saw it as a sign that he wanted ultimate control.
And they were worried he wouldn't let go of that control, even if it went against OpenAI's mission.
Basically, they were afraid that Elon's desire for control could end up undermining the whole reason OpenAI existed in the first place.
That's a heavy accusation. How did Elon react?
He was not happy. He basically gave them an ultimatum.
What was it?
Commit to OpenAI fully or go independent.
So it was make or break time. What did they decide?
They chose to stay with the nonprofit. Sam Altman agreed to step back temporarily to figure out where he stood with Ilya and Greg.
And Elon. Did he just walk away?
Not right away, but his involvement definitely decreased. He formally resigned from the board in February 2018.
A turning point for OpenAI.
Definitely. So, with Elon out of the picture, what happened to OpenAI? Did they stay true to their original mission?
Well, they had to adapt. Without Elon's funding, they needed a new way to get the billions of dollars they needed to stay in the AI game.
Do they sell out to the highest bidder?
Not exactly. They came up with this unique structure called a capped profit model.
Capped profit. What's that?
Basically, investors put money into OpenAI,
Okay.
but their potential returns are capped at a certain multiple of their investment.
So even if OpenAI becomes wildly successful, the investors only get a limited amount.
Right. And any profits beyond that cap go back to the original nonprofit entity,
Right.
OpenAI nonprofit.
So they could attract investors while still prioritizing their mission.
In theory, at least.
Clever. But did it actually work? Did it satisfy the people who were worried about OpenAI losing its way?
That's the big question.
Yeah,
And it's something we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
so much to unpack here.
Right, OpenAI's early years. It's a wild ride.
They had this grand vision, then intense competition, even power struggles.
And then that shift to the cap profit
A
model.
lot happened. Did it even work, though? Did they actually raise the billions they needed?
Oh, they got the money, all right. Remember that multi-billion-dollar investment Altman mentioned to Elon?
Yeah.
It came through.
Wow.
And guess who the investor was?
Let me guess, Microsoft? So I guess those initial nauseous feelings went away.
Apparently. But this time, it was a direct investment in OpenAI's for-profit arm.
How much are we talking?
$1 billion.
Whoa.
$1 billion with a B, announced in 2019. It gave Microsoft exclusive access to OpenAI's tech for commercial use.
And a ton of computing power through Microsoft Azure.
Exactly. They supercharged OpenAI's research.
So they got the funding, but did they compromise their commitment to open and distributed AI?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were still technically operating under that capped profit model.
With the extra profits going back to the nonprofit side.
Right. But their tech was now being used for Microsoft's business.
It's a tough line to walk. What did other people in the AI world think about all this?
It was mixed. Some people were happy. OpenAI found a way to stay competitive.
Against giants like Google and Facebook.
Exactly. They said it was necessary to prevent one company from monopolizing AGI.
Kind of like fight fire with fire.
Sort of, but others were critical. They said OpenAI had strayed too far from its mission.
And become beholden to Microsoft.
Right. They pointed out that OpenAI wasn't publishing all its research anymore.
Less transparency.
And potentially more concentration of power.
So did OpenAI betray its founding principles?
It's hard to say. AI is changing so fast, and OpenAI had to adapt to keep up.
It's like they were trapped.
Yeah. Either stick to the nonprofit model and risk falling behind.
Or go for profit and potentially compromise their ideals.
It's a dilemma a lot of organizations face.
Especially with cutting-edge tech.
Yeah. Where do you draw the line between progress, profit, and unintended consequences?
This whole OpenAI story is a roller coaster.
It really is. So much ambition, drama, ethical questions.
What should we take away from all this?
I think the main thing is that even with the best intentions, building a safe and beneficial AGI is incredibly hard.
There are going to be trade-offs, tough choices,
Yeah.
things we can't predict.
Absolutely.
It reminds us that technology isn't neutral,
It's shaped by the people who create it, who fund it, who use it.
and we all need to be part of the conversation about AI.
Question things, hold those in power accountable.
Okay, ready for a final thought-provoking question.
Hit me.
What if Elon had stayed in control of OpenAI?
Ooh, good one.
Would they be further ahead? Would the future of AI look different, better, or worse?
We can only speculate, but one thing's for sure, the story of OpenAI and AI itself is far from over.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a fascinating look at a truly influential organization.
An organization that's shaping our technological future for better or worse.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll be back with another episode soon.